So this video, we're going to be looking at the relationship between rules, tables, and graphs. So make sure by the end of it, you are able to identify these things, or you know the meaning of these things. We'll come back to them at some stage, but also that you can sort of use a graph using rules, also using create a graph using tables, and how to create a linear relationship. So the first part we're going to look at is a couple of definitions that I'm going to get you to copy down. The first one is what a rule is. So a rule is an equation, okay, which describes the relationship between two or more variables. So examples are, area equals length times width, etc. It's a relationship that is defined by two or more variables. Now, a linear relationship will result in a straight line graph. So I've got this example down here. You can see we've got the y-axis and x-axis, and we've got a linear relationship. So that's the rule, as you can see there. And when it creates a straight line, that's a linear relationship. So for a linear rule is usually written with the y as the subject. So again, remember the subject is usually on the left of the equal sign. And that's how we create our rules. So there's a step that you need to follow when you're creating a linear graph. And these are the three steps that I'm going to get you to write down. So the first one is construct a table of values, finding the y coordinate for each, and then substituting in the result, and I'll show you what we mean by that. Then you're going to plot those results on a graph, and then you just draw a line to connect that. So let's use this as an example. So here's our rule. We start with that rule. What we'll do if we substitute in a value for x, so we've got it here, and we create a table. So we substitute the value for x, and we might use -1, 0, and 1. That gives us our result for y, and that's where we get. So now these two here become points on our graph, and we plot them on our graph, and then we just connect those points with a line. And as you can see in this example, that would be a linear relationship because it creates a straight line. So let's do a practice here then. So for the rule y equals 2x minus 1, I'm going to construct a table, then we're going to draw this in a graph. So if we substituted our x, we've got this table, we're going to substitute x into our space here, and then we're going to get our values for y. I'm going to quickly do that now, and then I'll show what we need to do from there. So as you can see here, I've started putting in the results for the first part. So -3, so 2 times -3 minus 1 equals -7. Then I've got -5, -3, -1. I can predict that this is going to be a linear relationship because now I can see that it's going up in twos. So this answer will be 1, this one will be 3, and this one will be 5. Okay, so I can see that it's going up in twos there. So now I can create a relationship. I've got my table, and now I'm going to plot that onto a graph. So this is what that looks like. So if I put these results here on to match with my result, and I map the x and the y axes, okay, so you'll see that these are then put on a graph, and now I create a linear relationship. So by connecting that with a line, I can see that I have a linear relationship. Now, another way that you can do is that you can decide if the points can tell if it's on a linear relationship, and you do that by substituting in these values and seeing if the statement is true. So if we were using the rule here, y minus or equals 3 times x, okay, and we're just going to substitute these values in. Okay, so it'll be y will be 1 equals, sorry, x will be there, sorry. So x will be 3 times 1. So I know that 3 times 1 equals 3. So this is a true statement. So that means it's going to be fit on the linear relationship. Now if I do this way, other way around, okay, so y will be -4 equals 3 times -2. I know that that doesn't equal -4, that actually equals -6. Therefore, that is a false statement. Therefore, that wouldn't fit on a line of the graph. So making sure you've got those understandings down, that you know the relationship between rules, tables, and graphs, how to create a linear relationship and demonstrate that by using your graphs, etc. Thanks, guys.